Well, folks, it has been a weekend of calls for me. I cannot overstate just what that's been like. It's nothing like a trade war to get folks calling me. Again, for those who don't know, I'm a business coach that works out of West Michigan around the country. And, I'm on basically, I offer concierge business coaching to my clients, which means I'm here when they need me. And, what's going on with the tariffs over the last, few days spooking the market and where they're at has got a lot of my clients extremely worried about what the downturn is going to look like because you can't expect one. One will definitely occur here of some variation. So, as someone who's been through a couple of these, I have advice that I give to my clients consistently. But we're going to take a look at a video, or we're take a look at a article today that kind of talks a little bit about the pressures that small businesses are facing. Right up front, just tell you, I had a couple of my clients, they received emails on Saturday from their vendors saying prices are going up by 20% across the board. And tariffs hadn't even gone into, and they hadn't really even gone into effect yet. So that's what we're talking about here. And my clients are wondering what to do. And that's what we're going to take a look at. But first, let's get into this article here again from payments.com. Again, I hope to earn your subscription today. I come live here pretty consistently every single day where I just share this information I share with my clients to try to help employees as well as business owners to be able to navigate the business world right now. And it is crazy what is going on. So unprecedented pressures. These are not unprecedented pressures, by the way. They're just different facing small businesses. All right. And you can see I'm having to do some calculation here. Got stuff going on. Now, American small businesses are weathering a storm brought on by leadership changes in Washington. This is from the New York Times that they're reporting on it. These changes include stalled funding, job cuts at federal agencies, we know that, crackdown on immigration, and then now tariffs. Put it together has left business owners unclear on how to move forward. And, what they say here, it's feeling like a tornado for small business owners. And this is the life that small business owners, unfortunately, sign up for. They don't have a lot of control over what's going on. They can do their best to, try to forecast, but at the end of the day, they are, small businesses. And again, small businesses are, under 10 people, but there's also qualifies as under 200 people in certain industries. So these are large businesses in your area that would still be technically small businesses. And their ability to negotiate their vendors and stuff like that, they just don't have that type of pull. So they're forced at what the market rates are, have to deal with what the market rates are. And that's a real challenge. And you see that happening here. One of the first things that before we get in here that I tell my clients is don't lay off your staff. Like that is the first thing. Like we don't want to lay off the staff. Let's take a breath. We need your staff there in order to make your product, to sell your product, all the things that you need your employees there to do. Just because this is going on, please do not jump to layoff mode. We are not there. We're anywhere near there. If sales do begin to plummet, what I recommend is, obviously start looking at cutting hours where you can. And if you ultimately have to let people go, what I recommend actually is let's do a furlough first. Let's offer that to folks. And a furlough is different than a layoff. Furlough simply just means, hey, for this time and then a certain time in the future, usually it's 90 days. We're going to furlough you, which means there's no work available, but we're going to let you stay on our benefits and keep getting all your benefits. That's the first thing I'm telling folks is we're not there yet, by the way. No one's near in the small business world should be thinking about, laying off staff. But if you get there, I always recommend furloughs first. So that way your staff can continue to stay on benefits. And I recommend, again, for my clients, just pay their benefits for them while they're not being employed. And if you can't afford it, write it off. If not, have them pay you back over 9 months or whatever. Just, make it a payment plan. Whatever it is, go that route. Now, I know some folks say they should just pay it outright. Again, folks, I'm not here to negotiate or argue that. I'm simply just stating for folks in the small business world, these are some options that are available to you. Okay. Now, the report pointed out pressures the sector has been dealing with in recent years, including the COVID pandemic, which we all know in COVID, the jump in inflation. That's what happens when you print 25% of all dollars ever made in 2 years, and rising interest rates, which interest rates are going to start going down, by the way. FYI, I would expect to see interest rates plummeting here over the next month and a half to where we're going to see mortgages down around 4.5% again. Just expect that to happen. Market forces, people going into bonds instead of stocks. That's really what's happening. But anyways, now smaller businesses now have fewer employees on average than they did prior to the pandemic, which is true, citing data from the payroll platform Homebase. Hiring is down 1.6% during the first quarter compared to the same period in 2024. And then data from QuickBooks show the number of businesses with fewer than 10 employees began to rapidly contract beginning last March. 100%. We are, again, allergy season around here. We got the mold picking up here in Michigan. All right. Began rapidly contracting in March, as we mentioned. Report also cited that University of Chicago economists showing that small businesses began to run up credit card bills in 2021. That hasn't changed. They're continuing to be pressed on their capital outlays. But the thing is, the overall credit limit is going up for small businesses. It has been for the last year. So while they've been running up more, there has been more access to capital. Now, here's the thing that I want to cover before we get into the advice I was giving to my clients, just so you can understand what they're looking at from a financial picture. Small businesses with access to some method of financing demonstrate greater confidence in navigating economic challenges. My clients, I've been telling them to build a cash stockpile for over a year in preparation for this. I didn't know what was going to happen, but there was going to be a market, something going on after the election. You could just see it was going to happen. The challenges extend to the middle market companies where, per additional payments intelligence, 60% of CFOs expect the tariffs to bring about additional economic uncertainty and planning changes. The research also found that 70% of finance chiefs foresee supply shortages, 100%, and product delays. Similar share executing new costs to restructure their supply chains. Again, go take a look at the article. The link is going to be in the description here, but go check it out. And while we do have the supply chain shock is coming, that is going to be something we're going to be dealing with here. But here's the deal. We're not going to have shortages at first. That's the thing everybody mixes up. And it's one of the things I'm talking with my clients with here is that there's going to be inventory surpluses all over the place because demand is going to wither. So if you have access to capital, if you have some, as a business owner, if you have money saved up, this is going to be a great time, unfortunately, in the next 3 months to pick up some inventory if you have space for it on the cheap. You're going to be able to negotiate significantly lower rates to buy things. Commodities are falling, just plummeting through the floor right now. It's terrible out there. Okay. Now, the thing to keep in mind here is that, again, other advice that I have for my clients, when things start going sideways like this, we as individuals, we're going to take a look and really circle the wagons and take care of ourselves. We don't really look out into the world. We're not paying attention to what's happening out there. We're really worried about us looking at the cost of food. A prime example, this last weekend, a couple days ago, took the redhead out for some Mexican food at the local place. And it was $43 for the two of us to go eat. We didn't have drinks. That same meal was $27-ish a year and a half ago. So that's what we're talking about. So that really means for us to go out and go have meals is really going to have to be a special occasion at this point. It's just not something we're going to have. So I'm looking at the budget, we're paying attention, and that's what everyone's doing right now. So the number one thing that I'm telling everything after not laying off your folks is don't stop marketing. Don't stop. If you want to cut back on your paid advertisements, that's fine. Find a way to save there, but don't stop posting to social media, especially vertical, right? You need to make sure that you are doing the vertical, make sure your reels, that your stories, that your TikTok is all going out, because we may still have, the world may be coming to an end, but we're still going to be swiping, right? And we want to make sure that you are there front and center to remind folks of the services and products that you offer and how they are there to help them and make them feel awesome during this time. Okay. So don't stop marketing under any circumstances here. The other thing that happened here is that when these type of events happen, the overall way that customers interact with businesses shifts. You see movements back and forth and them trying to figure out, okay, do I even really want to do this? I don't feel like driving out there. I don't want to really deal with that. And just like we did in the pandemic, just like we've done in pretty much any time that exists, you have to be willing to pivot to where demand is. So you need to be understanding exactly what your customers need and be willing to meet them there, whatever it happens to be. Back when I was working in industry, we were a retail operation, but when COVID happened, we moved into stores. We actually went to the grocery stores and started delivering our product there to help meet the need for the customers, because they didn't want to travel to the retail location. So we went and negotiated with the stores to basically deliver to the stores. You got to be able to find your customers where they're at. Look at your online offerings. Find a way to make that easier. Whatever it looks like for you, for your customers, be willing to pivot. Okay. And the last thing that's just going to be here is that you, as a business owner, right now, I know things are going to be tight. You need to be planning for the time when the economy does turn back around. And it's those businesses that have a plan and work on it during the downturn to be able to not only deliver on customer expectations, but to exceed it. Those are the ones that end up dominating their space coming out of these economic hardships that happen. So make sure you have a plan. Find a way to stockpile, even if you're just saving a few dollars a day, so you have you have a pool of capital ready to be able to quickly purchase inventory and deliver, or if you need to, whatever it happens to be, quickly hire. Find a way to prepare for it and have a really good plan so you can, make it through this and then come out on the other end. Most of the businesses that end up dominating their space, they survive some sort of downturn or are born in a downturn. And that's really the silver lining I want to put out here for anyone who has been thinking about going into business. Economic downturns are a great time to open businesses because you're operating on sweat equity, how much time and energy you want to put yourself into your business. You don't have as many employees that you have to pay. So if you're an employee and you've been thinking about going into business, very soon, probably now, would be a great time for you to start thinking about opening those small businesses up, because by the time that you really get your feet underneath you, there's going to be a lot of businesses, unfortunately, that are going to have to go under, and you're going to have great opportunity to get in there and again, take some of that bandwidth up as far as for sales. Okay, so the end all be all in this is that the cool heads are the ones that survive downturns. Every business I know that over the last 5 years that has slashed people, that without having a plan, that has cut back on their investment in marketing, that have done all the things that I'm telling you not to do, aren't around right now. They just aren't. So keep your head, keep your cool, take care of your people, remind your folks that you're here, look for opportunities for inventory, and plan to get out of this, what you're going to do once this downturn is done, and you're going to be in a much better space. Okay. So with that, again, I hope I earned your subscription today. If you'd like to learn more about how I help my clients on the weekend, in between working in the garden, helping to answer their questions, feel free to reach out to me at summitbusinessguides.com. Take care, and I will see you next time.